Alright, this video I'm just going to go over a little more in depth on how to use Forex Factory or how to read the data that is released. So let's go to 8:30 a.m. It's time travel back to 8:30 a.m. and this is NFP results. Today was NFP results, and this is NFP usually impacts the dollar pairs. So these are high impact. Red folders are high impact news. Yellow folders are low impact, and then the orange folders down here, if you hover over it, it says medium impact, expected. So these are expected results. Expected results on the market, how the markets will react. So if right here on the folder section, if you open details, this row right here is details. Details on average earnings for average hourly earnings for USD. Now you want to go over here to see what is measuring. What is it about? This is a change in the price that business pay each worker. And this is not the farming industry. You guys don't have to necessarily remember this. The information is all on the site. The usual effect, when the actual, meaning the actual data release or the real result is greater than forecast. So this is forecast over here. Let's exit this. Actual greater than forecast is better than for currency, right? This is the forecast, meaning the predicted, and this is what actually came out. So what you want to look for is what actually came out. You're not trading based off of the forecast. Okay, let's go back to the details. Usual effect, actual greater than forecast is good for a currency, but it was bad. Frequency, we're not that worried about the frequency. And then this is the earliest data released related to labor inflation. Why traders care? So what we are looking for is measures the usual effect and why traders care. So it says this is a leading indicator of consumer inflation. When businesses pay more for labor, the higher costs are usually passed to the consumer. Okay, so let's go to a next one. Non-farm employment change. So if you click on the details again, we see that the forecast and the actual. So the actual is greater than forecast, meaning it's good. Again, change in the number of people employed, not in the farming industry. Usual effect. So when you look for how it's affecting, when it's green, right, it usually means actual greater than forecast is good. When it's green, it's good. Why traders care? Job creation is important leading indicator of consumer spending. So more jobs created, people will spend more. Okay, when people spend more, the overall economy grows, or the overall economy increases, and that's good for the U.S. economy in this case right here. Okay. Oh, one more thing, the history. I forgot to talk about it in the average earnings. The history, this is basically what has happened in the previous months. You scroll down, there's more. So maybe sometimes if you look at the history, you can find little patterns. But that's not to predict the future. You can just go back and backtest. Backtesting is basically when you go back in time and go back in time in both news and the actual date of the news release, and then see what happened. Same thing with unemployment rate. Here's the history. Here's what it measures. So the total workforce that is employed, unemployed, and this is during the previous month. So because it's during the previous month, these data is measured measures the activity of the previous month. So it's not this month, it is the previous month, and that goes for pretty much everything here. Why traders care? It is a lagging indicator. So many of these things are lagging indicators. The number of people unemployed is an important signal of overall economic health because consumer spending is pretty much correlated with market conditions. Unemployment is a major consideration for those steering the country's monetary policy. So unemployed people, they don't have that much to spend on consumer products. So because there is less consumer products being sold, there is less money flowing in the economy. Also called jobless rate, and these are your stories. Okay, so let's so that's pretty much how you would read your Forex Factory, how you would read more in depth in each like news release. And you always want to like be aware of what's happening in the next week. So right now I'm looking at the next week for the pairs that I trade. So I trade the euro, I trade the Aussie. So I need to keep in mind that these on these things. Okay. It's always good to look ahead in time and not be surprised or shocked on news releases. So you're expecting something to be released. You're not predicting, but you are expecting all the Aussie dollar to release a retail sales and its high impact at 9:30 p.m. on Monday, May 6th, right? So next Monday. So next Monday at 9:30 p.m. when I look on my trades and I see why my my AUD pairs are like spiking up and down, it's because of the retail sales. Now I was prepared ahead of time because I looked ahead of time. So like the spikes in volatility, I'm not that worried. All right, I believe that is the end. Like that is all I wanted to talk about for this Forex Factory video. So I will see you in the next video. Yeah.